So you fear death. I fear death too. Everyone that I know fears death to a certain degree. And probably everyone that you know also fears death to an extent. Have you been avoiding writing your will? I was. Most people are. Now, I'm here to tell you that I wrote my will recently, and that helped me reframe my fear of death. So my name is Vitor Vicente. I'm a professional and published author. And I spent a lot of time since my teens with pen and paper. I've always believed in the therapeutic benefits of writing. For instance, it brings clarity, it helps process emotions, and provides peace of mind. In short, writing calms you down. But I have to say that I've never imagined that writing my will would help me confront my fear of death, or at least allow me to face it with reason. How I saw death as a defeat, and not just any defeat, but a humiliating one, where as a loser, you are even forced to sign the certificate of loss. Now, I'm not saying death is not a defeat. I'm here to admit death, it is a defeat. However, what I found out is if I write my will, at least I have a say in my departure. And more importantly, I kind of regain a sense of power over my life. Number one is death becomes natural and less terrifying. From an early age, I was a rebel. You know, that kind of way. I would just oppose the system just to make a stand. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because it fosters independent thinking, boldness. But let's be honest, like rebellion for rebellion's sake can also turn you into a fool. Opposing for no real purpose and falling into a different kind of slavery. Now, I opposed mortality as such, but mortality falls into a different realm of things, those that cannot be challenged. I'm going to be crude. Death is inevitable. Everyone dies, period. Whether or not you believe in the afterlife, it's irrelevant. Death means you are gone, at least from the physical world. Now, I get that death doesn't seem as natural as drinking water or being annoyed with that neighbor who won't clean up after their dog. But it's that natural. The proof just happens, regardless of everyone's will. Number two, you may not accept death, but you will admit it. Okay, I'm not suggesting that drafting your will suddenly makes you cheerful at this thought of death, or have you taking detours past funeral homes just to brighten your day. Death is unsettling because no one knows what it entails. We can speculate about what happens to the body, soul, consciousness, but we cannot get into conclusions or consensus. Nevertheless, writing your will forces you to admit that death is real. And admission is the first step towards acceptance. Adults, we learned, sometimes painfully, that there is peace in acceptance. So writing your will, in a way, is signing that contract with reality. The thing is, it only takes effect when you are gone, but acknowledging that fact will change how you live right now. Number 3, you start appreciating life's small details. Now, this follows naturally from the first 2 points. What I mean by that, once you internalize your own mortality, but the transient nature of life itself, you will notice a radical shift in your perspective. Like, say, that noisy neighbor, you'll still be noisy. That guy who refused to clean up after his dog, still an issue. But suddenly, life's smaller joys, the sound of birds in the morning, the way coffee smells, the sight of the sky at dusk, they all become vivid and meaningful. Now, I know a lot of people on the internet and all over the place, they talk about enjoying the little things. But I believe that only very few they truly grasp their significance. Those who have had near-death experiences, they certainly do. Now, if you are fortunate and you haven't faced death up close, writing a will can give you a glimpse of that realization. Number 4, you develop a sense of urgency. So once you made peace with the reality of death, you start hearing the clock ticking. And not in a panicked way, but with awareness. Suddenly, the things that used to drive you crazy, they seem insignificant in comparison to life's impermanence. The Stoics, for instance, they advise visiting a graveyard whenever you felt overwhelmed by trivial concerns. Back to my personal life, I had followed that advice in my younger years. I've had spent half my life in cemeteries, and that's not quite my idea of fun. Nowadays, I choose to focus on what truly matters, doing meaningful work, surrounding myself with people who care, and pursuing passions that give my life purpose. Number 5, you discover who truly cares about you. This is perhaps the most revealing aspect of writing a will, because it's not just about ensuring that your wishes are honored after you are gone. It's about recognizing who will actually follow through on them. There are good people out there. Be one of them. Be reliable. Be real. Walk away from those superficial friendships and forged family ties that exist only out of obligation. Writing your will brings clarity, not just about death, but life itself. Writing my will changed me. It helped me reframing my fear of death and start living more fully. Now, I cannot promise that will have the same impact on you, but I encourage you to try. So stop panicking, start living. Writing your will, it's a life-changing exercise. It won't change the fact of death, but it will change how you think about it. If you have already written your will, how did that affect you? Let me know in the comments. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with others who may benefit from this perspective. And if you want more witty insights like this, subscribe for future updates.